You are listening to the Subtle Forces podcast. I am your host, Anja, not Anja. And here we go. Friday, April 10th, 1914. Miss Josephine Harzak is the proprietress of a boarding house on Middlemass Avenue, and up to Wednesday night, Stanislaus Warjek was the star boarder. Stanislaus won the heart of Miss Harjek, who is a widow and a good cook, by praising her hash and her dead husband, and the fact that he sported a clean collar twice a week and paid his board bill promptly led the good housewife to believe that Stanislaus was a Russian nobleman in disguise. Stanislaus oogled with Miss Harzak at the breakfast table, flirted with her at dinner, and he chucked her under the chin and winked at her after the supper dishes had been cleared away. It was a romantic courtship that lasted 2 weeks. It ended Monday night with a proposal of marriage. "Will you be mine, fair one?" breathed Stanislaus into his landlady's ear while they were seated on the sofa. "There is nothing on earth I wouldn't do for you." "Oh, Stanny, this is so sudden, but it took you so long to say it," she gushed coyly. "I am yours for keeps." They would be married in May, promised Stanislaus. Tuesday night, the man jumped up from the table while reading a newspaper and pointed out to his promised one an item which stated that a house a block away had been entered by thieves. "This is bad," he told the landlady. "They will come here next. I've got a gun and am prepared for him. Better let me take care of your valuables, Josie, and they'll be safer." "Good idea," agreed Miss Harjek. She turned over to her fiancé $135 in cash and a number of rings. At 11:30 o'clock Wednesday night, there was a great commotion in the Harjak boarding house. Doors slammed, there was a sound of footsteps in the dark hallways, and suddenly 2 revolver shots rang out and woke up the sleepers. White-faced and apprehensive, the boarders peered out of their rooms. Mrs. Harjek casually noticed that he bravely entered the hall. She saw Stanislaus hopping in the hall in blue pajamas and a black rage He was brandishing a gun and cussing. "They got it! The villains!" he howled. "Two sneak thieves got in my rooms and stole your money and jewelry. They skipped out. I shot one of the fellows in the ear, but he dove through a window." Mrs. Harjack casually noticed that all of the doors and windows were fastened on the inside. It was queer, thought she, that the burglars could get in through the keyhole. Then a horrible suspicion dawned on her. Under the pretense of making the beds, Mrs. Harjack entered the would-be husband's room Thursday afternoon, instigating a search, and found the money and rings reposing at the bottom of her boarder's trunk. She had the man arrested. In court, Stanislaus asked for a continuance for a week. It was granted. That's a true story from Friday, April 10th, 1914, as written in the police court scenes that were published in the Milwaukee Daily News. I'm sure the journalist who wrote it put in more than a dollop of flourish, but I mean, who doesn't like that writing? Here's another one from May 9th, 1914. William Hackendale, North Side haberdasher, has a fancy display of the latest dollar hats in his show window. To convince the wary that the lids cost a plunk and no more, the enterprising proprietor has carefully inserted a dollar bill in the band of each hat in the window. John G. Miller, farmer near Hales Corners, hove on the Milwaukee horizon last night with a battered Stetson that dated back from the date of annexation of California. Miller planned on entering the paint-up cleanup campaign in Milwaukee. He wanted to paint up the town in a deep tinge of red. When he saw the hats in Hackendale's window, with the long green decorating each brim, he stopped and stared. He made sure that the bills were genuine, then entered the store. "Give me one of them hats in the windy," he ordered. "Size 7. "Sure," smiled the agreeable Hackendale. The hat was forthcoming, but minus the dollar bill. "Hold on," howled the crestfallen Miller. "Don't that money belong in the hat?" "No, sir," laughed the haberdasher. He thought Miller was an eccentric humorist and chortled gleefully. "You're an ornery fraud, you are," shouted the farmer, getting hot under the collar. "You think because I'm a rube, you can bamboozle me out of my hard-earned dough, eh? Try to lure me into your store by putting money in your hats, will ye?" The more he talked, the madder he got. Finally, he choked wrathfully and smoked the surprised Hackendale on the cheek. Miller's paint-up campaign ended in a cell in the police station. The hat he didn't buy cost him $5 and costs. Both of these police reports were published in this book, Wicked Milwaukee by Yance Marty from 2018. I've been looking into strange and shocking moments in Milwaukee history lately because I'm going to do a shadow puppet show along the river in a few Fridays. And so I'm cutting scenes out of paper, and I think I'm going to do a performance of that hat shop situation. But I have some other things to share with you. I'll share with you some of my thoughts I've been typing lately. Squeegeeing seagulls, streaking sky, in chest loosening cry. This is why I sigh. This is why I sigh. I should probably mention that we're listening to Ferrante and Tyker and their magic pianos. This is all a series of rhapsodies. Rhapsody in Blue, Hungarian Rhapsody, Romanian Rhapsody, Cornish Rhapsody, Swedish Rhapsody, Hollywood Rhapsody, because I like to rhapsodize, even about my nightmares. Like this one I had during an afternoon nap. I set the timer for 16 minutes. Laid there unsleeping for probably 11 minutes. Then the darkness before a show. At 15 minutes, a dream. In my car, turning left, suddenly an impatient car U-turns and lightly taps mine. Who would do that, I wonder? I look at the windshield of the other car. I see the driver. Is David Gruber. Personal injury, TV ad, rich guy, always win lawyer. So I'm formulating the best thing I could tell him to convince him to go light on me, the innocent one. And I'm not feeling optimistic as the alarm goes off. I have no time to dwell. Shower and get ready to vend across the way from the free t-shirts tent. The free t-shirts given out by David Gruber at a festival. Is this a coincidence? Or is this a sign? And if it is a sign, what is it a sign of? During the thunderstorm, we decided to reroute an entire party from beer garden to our filth den. So the first thing I cleaned was my bushel of peacock feathers, stored previously in cat food bag. Now it obscures the window view with preposterous, exuberant bird flirt. This was more important than, say, cleaning the bathroom, vacuuming, or throwing out dead flowers, doing dishes, making guacamole for many mouths. You gotta arrange those peacock feathers when people are coming over. The overhead light exhumes harsh truths. A certified face yoga influencer would direct you to swipe circularly away. But you want the ceiling fan on. And heck, why not? You want the pasty, sad, artificial sunblast at midnight to convince you you're not home alone as you watch a human up close on a 62-inch TV screen. So earlier this week, I saw my younger self at the UPS store. He couldn't print my receipt. His eyes hazy, cast afar as he waited for colleagues to solve his problem. An aggravated teen girl put down her tape roll and squatted to printer. "Use your eyes, hon," she chastised. She opened and slammed the printer door. That ought to do it. It was just asleep. But still, it did not do it. And hazy white eyes returned, ready for manager to save him next. The manager discovered his computer had froze. Move to the next checkout station and start over then. He hesitated in recalibration. No, do that part after this customer leaves. She's waited long enough already. I give my younger self 2 weeks before he is fired. This time. When the upstairs neighbor moved out, they clipped the internet. Both hers and ours. Separate accounts, but somehow we were woven. Our network called an unspeakable series of words and numbers. Her network called Jesus Saw That. And then they shut our power. All clocks and connection. Microwave down. Kaput. Death. There is no time inside this house. Free fall between upper tenants, but detritus has been left. Forsaken is her extra set of everything flopped by the trash cans. A couch, a mattress, a dining set, a dresser. First, the scrapper came, asked me, "Do you want this lamp?" No. I was only interested in the jumbo purple corduroy coat. Then the notice from the city glued onto our door. Garbage fine. Not fine, said the landlord's cleanup crew. They sent a man with a pickup. I watched him Tetris an entire apartment into the bed of a truck. But then we discovered more in the basement. Another table, skis, a box of Scrabble spilling tiles, a flag crumpled said, God, guns, and Trump. A never-opened doohickey from IKEA. A soccer ball pool floaty. I was a little too interested in my neighbor's detritus. And this is just one of the many reasons why I'm going to hell when I die. Another reason why I'm going to hell is I parked in a spot that blocked access to a trailer last night. And I didn't come back to my car until I had a nice glass of champagne and was ready to go home at 11:30 p.m. Why would you do this to someone? Asked the frustrated, sad-eyed man I had parked in. I apologized while smiling. I'm not sure why I was smiling, but I could not hold any other facial expression. Another reason why I'm going to hell. I knocked over the ashes of a dead poet while trying to shake hands with the bookshop owner on my honeymoon. Yes, I was reaching over. My purse knocked over this crystal jar that was placed precariously on a dictaphone. Then I watched the shop owner sweep poor Victor up. You know, gales of lightweight scarf laughter, delighted, erupt suddenly once it is noticed. Yes, once a note is taken of what a hard-ass tight ship, no wibbly-wobbly will I accept when it comes to play. No, do not exit the car to good night me so bland. Instead of staying in our loud car to karaoke as engine runs, we will scream, all of us, as the background choir to the closing refrain of the Red Hot Chili Peppers. You will bang the cymbal stationed in this car. We will slap the skylight. We will have our moment of not going anywhere in this vehicle, but just lunging along. After I take another nap, I suddenly realize that Yoda and Miss Piggy are one set of vocal cords. Frank Oz, who directed my childhood self-help guide, What About Bob? He is the rainbow connection I needed to baby step my way into heavy book bins, utility elevators, arms and thighs encumbering Cinderella's cinder blocks and sandbags, bowling balls and turkeys, beady-eyed and hulking. This is my old Muppet self, frumpering along. Because they say it's time to get serious. I must take a break from this elation teacup floating high. All right. So we'll do it without music. So sad. The table leg fell off and broke like a happy actor receiving their 7th rose bouquet. So bad. The bats got in a tangle and the protractor lost its right angle, staring at the face of a pretty angel. So hard, all the suede tapestries wore off the wall, chapped from the grazing of beauty-starved eyes, while our hands clasped tight, not allowed to pet. So painful a thought, wasps swarming a whole paper nest, smoking, warming, burning stings, ouch now, yikeroos! But is this the weight of an entire world at war? So grave to be compliant to the wish to growl, ash to brawl, and bash to snarl and lash? But my guts a tilt-a-whirl prefers me to coast, kite, post, light, strike, match, fix, patch, and somehow outlast.